Welcome back. Now that we know how to get an actor's location, it would be useful if we could set the actor's location to a location in space that we specify. Now, we'll first learn how to do this in Blueprints before we move to C++. So let's drag off of Begin Play, and we're going to search for SetActorLocation. Now, this is a function that requires a couple of inputs. One of them is the target actor, and by default it's set to self, which will be the actor that this function is being called in. We also have a new location vector. Now we can specify the x, y, z components here, or we could plug in a vector value. I'm going to specify 0 for x and y, and 200 for the z. Now if I press play, I'll see that both actors are now at the same location, 0, 0, 200. And this tells us a couple things. For one, we know that SetActorLocation in the blueprint was called first before we drew the debug shapes, the sphere, and the line and point. So that's useful to know. If we do something here in Begin Play in the blueprint, then our Begin Play code in C++ will happen after that. Now let's do this from C++. I'm going to delete this node and open my Visual Studio project. So here's item.cpp. And we're drawing these debug shapes using our macros, but I'd like to set the actor location first, so we'll be drawing these debug shapes in the correct location. So here's what I'll do. Just before draw sphere, I'm going to call SetActorLocation. And SetActorLocation is going to require an f vector for the location. Now we could simply pass in location, but then we wouldn't be changing the actor's location, as this is its current location already. Now we could make a local vector variable here for the new location, or I could pass in a temporary f vector by using the f vector constructor and specifying x, y, and z. So I can specify 0.f for the x, 0.f for the y, and I'll just use 50.f for the z. And we'll see that this is enough to satisfy SetActorLocation, even though it has other input parameters, because these inputs have default values. Now those inputs are a Boolean called bSweep. Sweeping is a method for detecting whether or not moving this actor would result in moving it through another object. And if sweeping was enabled, we would stop just short of overlapping something that might be in the way. So we're going to leave this at its default values. The other two inputs, fHitResult and eTeleportType, are related to sweeping. So if we're not sweeping, we don't need to pass in those inputs either. And we'll learn more about those types later in the course. So now we're setting our actor's location, but we're drawing a sphere and a vector using the location of our local f vector location, which of course was set before we changed our actor's location. So we will change the actor's location with SetActorLocation, but we would still draw these debug shapes at the old location. So to draw them at the new location, we can simply move these lines down after SetActorLocation. So let's see how this works. I'm going to go ahead and hit Save from here in Visual Studio. And in the editor, I'm going to hot reload. And with a successful hot reload, we can press play, and there we go. We're drawing our debug sphere at our new actor location, 0050. So that's how we can change our actor's location from C++. Great job. I'll see you in the next video.